Welcome to the Conversation Colons podcast. I'm your host, Damien, and my co-host, Jared.
Hello.
And welcome back. We took a week off. I was waiting for my preamp to get in, which you are now listening to, some hopefully good audio from me.
Hopefully.
I would just like to preference that the audio may not be perfect. It's still a work in progress. OBS updated and kind of deleted all of my settings. I'm redoing that. I also have to do all my settings, like adjust on my actual preamp. So that is all in a work in progress. I have to work on Jared's audio. So if it's a little bit rough, I do apologize. But we're getting there. I should sound a lot better. I can make a bleep sound. You ready? Hey, there you go. Jared, do you have any brewskis this week?
No, we started a little bit off the hook there, so I didn't get one.
Yeah,
I have a bunch, just didn't grab it.
Yeah, last week we didn't record. There was really nothing going on. I'm not saying that this week there's really that much going on, but I also just really was tired of using my mic that I was using. It was just getting to the point where it was unbearable, especially like on a podcast. So it's all ready to go. Let's go ahead and get into our first topic. Jared, we had the Call of Duty beta from Thursday to Monday morning. And what were your impressions of the overall experience?
So overall experience was it was fucking dog shit. Did not have a good time for I'd say probably 85% of it. It was an absolute shit show. It basically reminded me why I argue with you about Treyarch games, because they're not as great as like everyone makes them out to be. That being said, the beta itself, and I'm talking just about the beta here, the beta was absolute dog shit. I would rate it 1 out of 10. Would not have recommended it. Very, very bad beta. But for the little bit of good things that were coming out of the beta, not that there were many, I could see a silver lining for the full game itself. If the maps they give us in the full game are better than the ones that we got in the beta, it'll end up being a much better game. If they end up doing literally anything to, take away I don't want to say the amount of OP that there is in these weapons, but if they do anything to nerf the snipers and or the shotguns, preferably, it'll probably make that game a little bit better. But if they keep it the way it was in the beta, then it's not going to be a game that I'm going to play on release day. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to get shotgunned by people who don't know how to play the game, and then I'm not going to get quickscope by people who only play Treyarch snipers. I'm just not doing it. I've done enough of it in the past. It's not worth my time. But yeah, the beta itself, I did not have fun. The only time I enjoyed myself was playing as a group, and even then, when we were in a group, if I ran into people who were sniping exclusively on the one map Satellite, it was a terrible experience until I had to break out one of these starter classes of an M16. And then if we were in any of the other maps, you either had a mix of snipers and shotguns, or if it was the smaller map, I forget what it was called, there was just shotguns, and it was fucking ruining it all. Damien has told me that the time to kill is longer in this game than it was in Modern Warfare, but from my experience, it felt shorter. I could very well be wrong, and according to Damien, I am wrong, but I would just like to say it felt longer. It felt as if I was dying fucking instantly to this gun that I'm using, but when I use it, it feels like I'm not taking them out nearly as quickly. But it may have just been because I was having a bad time with the snipers and shotguns. I don't know. I'll have to see in the full game if that feels better or not. It is a beta, so obviously I'm critiquing it because it's a beta, but I also understand that being a beta, things aren't going to be perfect. So I would also like to clarify that. Don't give me shit because, oh, you don't know what you're talking about, just a beta. I know it's a beta. That's why I'm saying now I didn't think it was good, and I hope they make it better when the full game comes out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Damien, what were your impressions of the beta?
So it changed drastically from like the first day to the last day. So the first day I really liked it. It was weird to get used to. I just think so. Friday, Saturday, I had a really hard time in the beta, and I couldn't figure out how to play and how I wanted to play, how I wanted to get around the map.
Mm,
And I just felt like a lot of things they put into the game didn't fit the play style I like to play. Now,
understandably.
you know, there is a lot of issues. The sniping's pretty strong. The spaz secondary is pretty strong. I think the maps that they put in the beta, I think work on a like certain game modes. Like Miami's good on control and
Yeah,
domination.
that's fair. I should have
Um,
gone more into game modes like you
yeah,
saying. That's a good point.
I just don't think those maps work good for stuff like search or VIP is what they were calling it, or TDM kill confirmed. Like if I saw TDM, I hopped out. Uh, so if we're going based off the maps, I don't think they were the strongest. But
You saying the maps?
yeah, I think if we're going by the maps,
Yeah.
like it's not the strongest. Sorry, someone texted me. I was in the middle of sending a thing back. Um, so, but overall, I think the gunplay feels good. I think the no flinching is nice and a welcome, like a welcome back, right? Back to the old Call of
Hmm.
Duties. So I don't have to worry about my gun flinching up, or when I'm shooting somebody, their gun flinches up and they get an instant headshot. So I
See
think my
that I have to disagree with that because there were a lot of times where I would blast a sniper with all the shots I needed to kill him except for the last bullet, and he would just instantly headshot me because there was no flinch. But I can kind of respect it in a way.
well, so flinch would make it to
I'm
where his
mixed.
gun points up, and when he shoots, he gets a lucky headshot. Sorry.
That's fair. That's fair.
Um, but so I think when it comes to that, like I feel like the competitive side is gonna be better because now luck is taken out of it. Because especially in like high competitive games, I mean, if we're just looking at Modern Warfare, there's so many times that I think a lot of pro players would agree with this. Like you get the first shot off, and that guy gets a headshot, and when you watch it, it's because of the flinch of his gun. Um,
Yeah.
but so to continue my point, like so Saturday night, I really didn't like the game. I was coming to the point where I was gonna potentially not try to compete because I was just not having a good time. I didn't like the way the guns felt. I didn't like the SMGs. There's no way I can be an AR player on my team, and I just felt at that point if the game is gonna play like this, I wasn't ready. I'm glad I
Yeah.
gave the game another chance. So Sunday night, I get home from work and you got off or something, and it was just me by myself, and I ended up, using an MP5, and that that last 6 to 8 hours that I played of that game by myself was super rewarding for me because it just I guess it just took me longer to click with the game. I mean, that's when I started dropping more like 50 bombs, going, 53. I dropped a nuke, which I have a screenshot of, in a domination match, and even on cartel with all the bushes in the middle. So like I
Which
got
is rough.
back,
Yeah.
yeah, I got back to how I was in Modern Warfare, and I think my problem is I played so much Modern Warfare that I got used to one certain style of game and one certain style of play, and this game's definitely like this game's fast, but it's back to like a Call of Duty level to where positioning matters again, and I was playing sloppy, and so Modern Warfare, I could just gun someone. I didn't really have to worry so much about positioning, because of the kill time being so low. Now with this game, like you do take more bullets to kill people, and I feel like it being a more strategic Call of Duty, I had to like get back into my Black Ops 4 kind of Call of Duty. So I think Sunday when I stopped playing, I had a really good time. The game clicked with me. I fuck with the MP5 and the Milano. Like that is what I'm going to be using. I'm still going to compete. Like my team's still ready to do that. Um, so I think what I played in the beta, the maps that they had in the beta are better than 95% of the Modern Warfare maps. I think the game feels better than Modern Warfare. I think the game modes like Control is one of the best game modes Call of Duty's ever introduced. I think the weapons and era that they're in is very dope. I like the vibrant maps of Black Ops. And I'm ready for this year. I give this beta an 8 out of 10. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Um, to move on, I would like to kind of take back what I said about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So they've been obviously like releasing more info about it since it comes out next month, right? It comes out in like that week of hell is what I'm going to start calling it, because in literally a matter of a week, 2 new consoles drop, Cyberpunk drops like a few days later, Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed Valhalla all come out in a matter of like a week of each other.
Yeah.
It's a fucking crazy ass week. And you know, then you have the Spider-Man game for PS5 and PS4, shit like that. So they've been releasing more stuff about it, and I believe it was a month or two ago we were talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and we both criticized the animations, how bad it looked. And I gotta say, their new trailers, their new gameplay that they were showing, like it, and all like the previews I've been watching of it, like I'm excited to play the game because they fixed a lot of that, and I'm actually
I haven't seen any of the new stuff. I mean, I was always like a little excited, but I was definitely, like you said, we critiqued it pretty hard. But yeah, I'm reasonably excited for it as well. Still, I'll have to see some of that new stuff that they've changed, like you said.
Yeah. So I would like to apologize, but I will say I really miss the old Assassin's Creeds. I mean, I'm just tired of the open world kind of thing. I think Black Flag did a really good job of like mixing Assassin's Creed with an open world. Man, like I think Assassin's Creed 3 did a good job with like that kind of open area, but there's just something about like Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, Unity. Well, Unity did a good job of it. Like, I mean, they're
sure.
open world. I don't know how to describe it. They're open world, but they don't have like a heavy focus on RPG, and they're more straightforward. What I will say is, what's nice about this Assassin's Creed is all the missions base off of you now, so I don't have to grind to play that next story mission. Like in Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey, like if you were level 10, the next, especially in Odyssey, there was sometimes the mission was like 4 or 5 levels ahead of you. And so you had to go grind for like 25, 30 minutes and do all these side quests, and then you could go play the main story. That's gone. Thank God.
You know, I just thought of something. What they did was they tried to make it like a bootleg Witcher.
Right.
But with assassins, which not a bad idea, but it sure as shit didn't come out as good as it could have.
Exactly. And I hope after this game they kind of sit there and they go back to the roots and, you know, make another game with Ezio, man. Like that's really bring back Desmond into the story, go back to the roots of what made Assassin's Creed so good. Other than that, there was one last thing that did come out last week that we didn't get to talk about. So PS5's new 8.0, or sorry, PS4's new 8.0 update. They added voice chat recordings. So Jared, let's say me and you were talking, right, in a voice chat, and you say something mean to me. The way they worded it at first was that they're always recording our voice chats. So if you say something mean to me, I can report you. They can hear our whole conversation and ban you for it.
Yeah,
which is very bad, right? That is.
Yeah, that's like a breach in privacy.
Yeah, we're talking about a huge breach in privacy. They have now come out to said that, oh, well, it's only the last 5 minutes on a rolling period, and we're not recording the whole time. They're recording the whole time.
Yeah.
They are. They can say whatever they want. I know they're recording the whole time. And I think that is a big mistake for PlayStation owners to allow to happen. I mean, they got backlash, but they should have more backlash. I mean, we were talking about...
You're owning a PlayStation within itself is a mistake.
I mean, listen, there was hell to pay when Microsoft said the Kinect was going to always be on. Microsoft got so much shit for that it lost them the console generation. Sony is doing the same thing. Voice chat recording, even though they're saying it's not going to be on, it's on. Because when you report it, it records the last 5 minutes, or it plays the last 5 minutes to them. So they're always recording.
Yeah.
So I would just like that to be known so that people can sit there and say, hey, no, like, I don't want this to happen. You know, this is infringing on our rights. and our privacy rights, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Problem
kind
is,
of
you got
crazy.
too many people going to be sucking off PlayStation, saying, "Well, but it's placed, but no." Like they need to. There's going to be too many defending. There's not going to be enough of people actually accusing Sony of doing what they're doing.
Right.
It's not going to matter. It's going to be like a little political here. It's going to be like the fucking election.
I also forgot to do at the beginning of the podcast. Shout out to Simply June or Jun. If I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. You left us a nice little comment on SoundCloud saying that we are underrated for real.
Oh,
So I appreciate that. I responded to you on there. So I would say I would give him.
thank you for that.
Yeah, I said I'll give him a shout out. So yeah, once again, guys, remember we are trying to grow this podcast. Actually, sorry, Jared. Before I do our big kind of outro, Jared, you had something you want to talk about relating to Pokemon.
Yeah, so obviously I've talked about it last few episodes with the new DLC coming out, all that fun shit. There was some speculation recently, the past few days, of when the thing was going to come out, and it was like there wasn't a specific time. It was a rough estimate of time, and basically it came out super early compared to what everyone was thinking. Everyone was thinking that it was going to come out about midnight till 3 a.m. Eastern time, which is my time right now. And it came out at like 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern time, which was really surprising. A lot of people were guessing that it would be a lot different window. I mean, it's only a couple hours, obviously, but it was surprising that happened. So that's the time we're recording right now. It is out. I've actually already played, and I've already caught one of the legendaries, not one of the new ones, but an older one. So go play it. So when this comes out Friday, it'll have been out for almost 24 hours. You guys, if you want to play, go play. They confirmed all the Pokemon that are in it. There's a few hidden ones, I believe, or I guess spoiler ones I won't mention. But Damien, I know you like the Gen 3 starters, like Torchic and all of them.
Piplup.
They're in. No, not Piplup. That's Gen 4.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
is
they're
it?
not in.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was very disappointed by that. But yeah, Gen 3 starters all in. You got the Nidorans, both genders of that. There were a bunch of others. I don't have a picture up right now. I wasn't going to pull one up, but a ton of stuff. There's 210 Pokemon in the Tundra Crown Tundra Pokédex. So that's 210, just like the Isle of Armor was. Not all of them are brand new. There are a couple repeating. It's just the Pokédex for that area. So in reality, it's like just under 200. What is the real new amounts added that weren't in before? It's good so far. I gotta say, I was very surprised by the story. It's obviously not a long story. It's like 4 or 5 hours, I think, is what people are saying. But it's decently interesting. The new feature they added, which is so far really badass, is a max raid. No, I'm sorry, max raid dungeon. I can't remember the name of it, but basically, instead of doing one max raid battle like you do in the wild area, you go through and can do up to like 5 or 6. So there's you go in, and at the very end, there's a chance to get a legendary or a pseudo legendary or whatever they call it anymore. So I did one of those right off the bat. It shows you a tutorial, recommends you do it by yourself. I got one. It's very fun, and they're eventually going to be adding, or they already did add. I think it's just post game stuff, where you can do those unlimited. So you just keep doing it over and over and over until you die or don't. I mean, if you're able to go forever. But yeah, bunch of new stuff added, a lot of cool stuff. I recommend checking out if you guys want to. I know I've been talking about the Pokemon stuff a lot lately, but it's what I'm into. We talk about games on here, so just shit to talk about.
Alrighty,
yeah,
guys.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Let me check the calendar real quick. So next week the podcast will not be posted on Friday. It'll be posted. Well, Halloween's the 31st, right?
Yeah, so that's Saturday.
So we will have our Halloween special uploaded Saturday. So if you have any ideas what you would like us to do, let us know. We're still kind of deciding on it. I just almost freaked out. I looked over at my OBS and I saw 0 seconds, but it's for the live thing, not recording. And I was like, there's no way we haven't. So yeah, let us know. Remember, we're trying to grow this podcast. When we hit 100 subscribers on the channel, we are going to do face cams from now on, and then SoundCloud and the audio only stuff will get kind of an upgrading quality. Still working on our audio and fixing the levels, so trying to make that better. So just bear with us for the next few weeks.
Yep, constantly upgrading if we can.
Right, exactly. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, follow us on Spotify, iTunes. If you're listening, please leave us a review, and please let your friends know. So we will
Yeah,
see you
absolutely.
guys next week for our spooktacular episode. And thank you guys for watching. See you next time.
Yeah. See you guys. Have a good one.